Hello, Internet. It's your friend Steve. I'm going to review WrestleMania. The most wait a minute, hold on. The most stupendous WrestleMania of all time! Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was definitely the weirdest WrestleMania of all time. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. I rather enjoyed it, but it was WrestleMania. Vince, I love you. You've created a monster. WrestleMania is like a highlight of my year, but it doesn't have to be two nights. This card, there was like six good matches. Like six matches, I'm like, I'd watch that on a WrestleMania. Like if you put those six matches on a WrestleMania, it would have been good. It would have been a really good WrestleMania. Um, we're gonna go through it. It was definitely part of. We're gonna have to do it two nights because it was like an 8 hour event, and I'm not gonna do like a 7 hour video because no one's gonna watch that. So we're gonna probably break it down. We're gonna go night one. We'll do night. We'll do night one first. Night one had some highlights, but it also had some lowlights. It was kind of. We're gonna get into it. So we're gonna go into let's see, what was the first match? First match was Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke's theme song. Shinsuke is a waste. He should be a world champion. Shinsuke Nakamura is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's just a weird. He's like a Japanese Freddie Mercury. He's like Michael Jackson, a Japanese Michael Jackson. Like he's just like oozes charisma to me. He's very entertaining to watch. And Bo Boggs, Rick Boogs, is just a comedy character. He's hilarious. I find him. They're the two funniest. Well, they made Shinsuke a joke, but Boggs is hilarious. But I don't think he should be with Shinsuke. But anyway, that's we'll say. And the Usos are good, but they've been around so long. I'm starting to kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's a good Uso match. It was a good match. Rick Boggs. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. Boogs. I'm gonna say Boogs because it makes me laugh. Boogs got like an injury, I think. I hope it wasn't real, but I think it was real. I think his knee collapsed. So the Usos ended up winning. Yeah, it was like a C. It was all right. I think it would have been a good SmackDown match. I don't know if it was a WrestleMania match, but I know everyone needs to get on WrestleMania. They need to get paid. I don't. So it was an all right match. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna just go down the order. I don't know. I don't remember if this was the correct order, but we're just gonna go down this list. Next was Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Another C. It was a SmackDown match to me. It wasn't like a WrestleMania match. Drew McIntyre is a world champion to me. He's or an intercontinental champion. He should be instead of having Roman Reigns versus Brock for the 18,000th time, have Drew versus Brock like an actual match. Like Drew, the pandemic screwed a lot of people over, but Drew McIntyre should have got a push. The dude's a good-looking dude. He can wrestle, and he should be a world champion. And Happy Corbin's a comedy character to me. I would have loved to see Drew versus Shinsuke for the Intercontinental. Like that would have been a good match. Um, yeah, it was a C. Again, SmackDown match to me. Actually, I think this was second. I think this might have been second. Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus Miz and Logan Paul. This might be controversial. Vince, I would sign Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul, used correctly, could be one of your top heels. Now, he doesn't wrestle all the time. He is a specialty event. He's like what The Miz wants to be, right? The Miz, I hate The Miz. I'm not a Miz fan. I don't think he can wrestle, but the dude's talented. The Miz is one of the best talkers in the business. He gets me. I want to see him get his ass kicked, which is what a heel should do. He's a great talker. He's top 20 talkers in the business of all time to me. And then I used to like when I went to Backlash a couple of years ago, and this guy next to me was a huge Miz mark, and we all like who we like. And me and him were arguing: is Miz a Hall of Famer? And I don't, for honestly, I don't think the WWE Hall of Fame is even a good Hall of Fame. So yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but he does deserve to be in there. He's done everything you could do in the business, and I do think he's a great talker. I just don't think he's entertaining to wrestle. Like he's a manager to me. He's a good promo. He's entertaining. I just don't find him entertaining in the ring. Like from promos until the bell rings, I'm all for it. He's A plus 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 plus, and then the bell has to ring, and then I get bored in a Miz match. So this Ray and then Dominic. I mean, I think Dominic's got a future. He's got good size. I don't really know too much about his promos. I mean, Ray's one of the all-time greats. I mean, it was an okay match. Logan Paul stole the match, though. The dude, like, you could tell the dude actually took it seriously. He's a good athlete. He's very punchable. He has a punchable face, which is, for a heel, half the battle. Overall, I thought it was a B. I thought this was a good match. This could deserve to be on WrestleMania. I mean, you might not like him, but he has star power. We're on YouTube right now. YouTube stars have value. I thought it was a B. And then the dude's a douchebag, and he comes out with a back in the day it was $5. 5 million Pokemon card around his neck. That's heat. That's awesome. And he knows how to get people pissed off at him, and he looked like he actually trained. Him and Bad Bunny over the last 2 years, probably the two greatest celebrity wrestlers to ever do it. Actually, number one is down tomorrow. Spoiler alert. The best one's tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, Logan Paul, you could clearly see he put some work in. He's a good athlete. He's got heat. Yeah. And then the Miz turned on him. That was stupid. You should have had Logan Paul next year. He could have had, like, him versus Dominic, or him versus like a babyface. I'm guessing they're setting up the Miz versus Logan Paul next year. I don't want to see that, because I'm not going to root for the Miz, and I'm not going to root for Logan Paul. Like, keep the Miz and Logan Paul working together. They just short-term booking. It's look what we get next. Becky versus Belair. Yeah, this is a C for me. I just don't get Bianca Belair. She's a good athlete. I just don't care. I think I could see her more as a heel than I could see her as a babyface. Becky, I think Becky's an all-time great. I don't like her as a heel. I think if the roles were reversed here, and Bianca had sort of like a Sasha Banks cocky heel, I would be more into it. I just, she's like female Roman Reigns. I mean, I just don't get her. I mean, she's all right. I mean, she's a good athlete. That's it. It was a subpar match. It wasn't interesting. It was definitely like, go get some popcorn. And I don't want to shit on women's wrestling, because I mean, I don't want to shit on women's wrestling, but yeah, this was boring. I wasn't into it. Bianca won. Next one, I would say, is the second best match on the card, and also the worst kept secret in all professional wrestling. Seth Rollins comes to the ring to see who his mystery opponent is, and get shocker, it's Cody Rhodes with his shitty neck tattoo. Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good story. I'm happy for Cody. He got to have his WrestleMania moment. I marked out when he did the little, and then backstage he cuts a heel promo. I think it was a heel promo where he's like, I'm ready to play the game. Setting up a match with Triple H that'll never happen, sadly. I think that would have been a great match. That would have been a WrestleMania moment. Triple H versus Cody Rhodes. All the trash talking Cody's been doing. That would have been a great match. But sadly, Triple H retired. We'll get into that tomorrow, I think. Or tomorrow by the next video. I'll give my thoughts on Triple H's career. Great match. Seth Rollins delivers. Seth Rollins is top 5 in the business in ring. Good, solid match. Cody's a great wrestler. Good match. Cody wins, of course. He had to win. Then we had Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Let's see. They've ruined Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey should be your female Brock Lesnar. She should be a heel. She should come in and just be like, this shit's fake. This shit's fuck this shit. I'm an athlete. I'm supreme. I'm armbar, armbar, armbar. 2 years of her just knocking people out. And then build up a babyface and then have the babyface beat Ronda at WrestleMania. Make her a moment. Charlotte's one of the best. Charlotte's a all-time great in the ring. And she's a Flair, so she could talk on the mic. It was a C. I get it was a WrestleMania moment. Ronda's a star. It was heel versus heel to me. I'm not going to root for Ronda. Ronda's just got a waste. You're wasting her being a babyface. She should be a full-fledged heel. Like Ronda just comes out and goes, "You're bullshit. And I'm real. I'm gonna." You could tell all the stories you want when we get in the ring. Armbar. Spoiler. Give her Paul Heyman. Like have Paul Heyman have his little crew of 3 or 4 people who all they do is wrestle. Like you should have had Cesaro. That was a waste. Cesaro should have been a Paul Heyman guy for his whole career. Because I think he's a good promo, but Cesaro is a great wrestler. Give put Otis with Paul Heyman. Otis is a good wrestler. Otis is entertaining. Just have him be the new Vader. He's a good wrestler. Just have all the people you can't have do promos with Heyman. And Heyman has his own little gang, and all he does is win championships and be heels. Yeah, it was a C. I mean, it was an alright match. And then Charlotte won, which was surprising. Lost me some money on FanDuel. Not FanDuel, DraftKings. I definitely thought Ronda was going to win. And here we go. The main event. Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. I'm shocked this happened. I thought KO was just going to eat like 2 or 3 stunners and call it a day. But it was like a 15-20 minute match. And I marked out for it. This was the highlight of night 1. And I'm glad Austin got his final match. Because, I mean, the final match against The Rock, no one knew it was his final match. This, he gets to win. I mean, not that that matters. I mean, he's still an all-time great. And, it was nostalgia. It was weird. It was definitely weird. This is like, what? Why is Stone Cold and KO ending the show? And then you're like, oh, this has to be a match, right? There was no way this wasn't going to be a match. But yeah, drinking beers, DUIs left and right. Just everything you needed in a Stone Cold. Everything you needed. And KO, I love KO. Sold it beautiful. KO did what KO had to do. Be a jerk, come out, and get your ass kicked in Texas by an all-time great. And it was awesome. It had everything you needed. I would have loved to see KO hit Austin with the stunner, but I understand why he didn't do that. But yeah, that was like, I feel like they panicked and they were like, oh shit, this card is like subpar. Go ahead and throw Austin out last and send the crowd home happy, because that was awesome. I mean, nostalgia. I'm a 90s kid, so Austin's my dude. Yeah, that was it. I feel like I got everything. I would have, out of this, I would have kept the KO Austin thing, and Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. That was a WrestleMania match to me. Charlotte versus Ronda, just because you have to have a women's match, and then everything else was just so far. Definitely, just the Austin thing was worth it for me. Yeah, but that's night 1. I would say a C. It was a C. It would have been really bad if the Austin thing didn't. Oh no, and Cody Rhodes. Sorry, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins was the best match of the night. Then you had Austin versus KO. Those two. And then the Mysterio Logan Paul thing was entertaining. But overall, mostly SmackDown matches. It wasn't WrestleMania worthy matches to me. But yeah, Cody coming back was huge. That was it. That was good. It was good. It was all right. That's night one. Like and subscribe, and I'll be doing night two shortly, and I'll have that video out probably tomorrow. Alrighty. Love you guys. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Bye, Internet.